Here at Blackburn Rovers, no more Tyree Stolen, no more Callum Brittain. Who won the transfer dealings there? Was it Borough? Was it Espanyol? Was it Blackburn Rovers? Well, today we're going to talk about it. So, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're taking a look at, of course, a couple of deals that went the other way for Blackburn Rovers. Losing Tyree Stolen, losing Callum Brittain. Who won that transfer deal? Was it them? Was it us? Well, we'll take a little look in just 1 second. Big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. If you're new, where you are, subscribe. Your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers is right here as we look forward to a busy 2025-2026 campaign. But all the talk is about the players going out. What about the players that, of course, have left us? Have they gone on for pastures new? Is the grass going to be greener? Well, we'll talk about that in just 1 second. But before that, I'm going to hand you over to Eddie to talk about things such as away day travel, of course. You could see the likes of Callum Brittain wearing the Middlesbrough red, of course, this season at the Riverside. But, of course, how would you get there? Well, Eddie is going to tell you all about it.
Ewan Eddie here with some news on our brand new scheme we're looking to implement in the 2025-2026 campaign. What is it? Well, it's affordable away day travel. That's right, us at Blackburn Rovers hope to implement this brand new scheme for each and every one of the away days taking place in the upcoming campaign. Right now, we're just in the planning stages and we want to know if you are interested in away day travel for the upcoming season. Now, what I need you to do now is, of course, go to this link on the screen right about now. It's a QR code, or maybe drop down in the old description to follow the URL and fill out your name and, of course, maybe some contact information that we can reach out to you when we are 100% committed. Just a reminder that this is just the planning stage of this service. Nothing is 100% as of yet. But the more numbers and the names that we get down in the next few weeks, then, of course, then we'll have the ability to make this happen for you guys. Again, looking at what's available at the moment, this does look like an affordable option if we can get the support from you guys. And again, it's just a fantastic way for you to support the channel in another way. Back to you, Dirk, in the studio.
Appreciate that, Eddie. But now, of course, jump in the deep end and talk about Blackburn Rovers and, of course, a couple of key players who have left Ewood Park for pastures new. And it does feel like it's the end of an era to a point, as we brought in a lot of new foreigners in here. But, of course, a couple of little mainstays have gone on. But we've chatted with the lads earlier. Here's their take on the situations at Ewood Park. So, okay, yeah, over the transfer window, we brought in a nice few faces and we've said goodbye to a few, including Callum Brittain. Callum Brittain did, came in from Barnsley. I don't know what the fee was that we spent on him. I think maybe either $1 million or in and around about that fee, 1.5 maybe. But getting 3.5 million for a right back, I think this is his final opportunity really to get a move. Before the decline. Oh, well, yeah, definitely for us, for his sake, but for the club's sake, but for his sake, before you're in that bracket of you're in your peak. So this is his move. I think he has a 4-year deal signed by Borough. So by the time that's done, he'll be 32 and definitely on the downward decline. But it is. When we look back turn the clock back to Sheffield United at the end of the season, did I think he would be going? No, I thought he would be. I thought he was going to be there, and I thought he'd played his best football for us last season. Big shoes to fill. Holmesy, what's your take on Callum Brittain's departure?
Oh, I mean, it was. You're right. I think it was a little bit disappointing. I think talk of it started coming about halfway through the transfer window. But yeah, listen, I think it's going to be big shoes to fill. I think it's going to leave a bit of a hole in the right side of the defence there. I particularly like the way he could get the crosses in. He had a great right boot. So I think, I don't know how this Aussie is, but hopefully he can also send a cross in there. So, yeah, I thought he played well. He played his part for Rovers over the last couple of years. Out of all the players that have left, if we look between him and Dolan, I'm certainly more disappointed that he's leaving than Dolan. But it is what it is. We've seen better players than him leave Rovers, and we'll plug the gaps. We'll find new stars. So wish him well. Good luck at Middlesbrough. Is it an upward move for him? I don't know. For me, it feels a bit like a sideways move. It's not really going anywhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So good for him. Hopefully, he got a bit of a pay bump in there. and we'll see how he does at Middlesbrough. And we've already filled the gap. We three 2.6 million up on the deal. In fact, probably 2 million up, considering we got two right backs now in the transfer window. So maybe that extra 2 million is gonna push for a right side attacking midfielder to come in, or a right winger who can also cross the ball in. So we'll get three players for the price of Brittain. I think that's a fair deal.
Yeah. Jacob, this of course does buck the trend of recent established Blackburn Rovers players going for free. Of course, we lost Dolan, Just, and of course prior to that we've lost Diaz and a few other.
Rothwell, Nyambe.
Yeah, a lot of players that you would consider established. And we got 3.5 million on a player that was entering the final year of his contract. Is it who won? Who do you think we talked about this? I don't know if you were on at this point about Joe Rankin Costello. Who got the better end of the deal? Did Callum Brittain get the better end of the deal? Did Rovers get the better end of the deal? Or did Middlesbrough get the better end of the deal?
It's a hard question. I'd say Middlesbrough just because I do think they've probably bought the best right back in the league. He's going to them at a good age. He's not young, but he's also not old. Like you said, he is kind of just coming into his peak years now. I think we've done well to get 3.5 million for a right back who was in his final year of his contract. But like I just said, he's probably the best right back in this league. Honestly, just going forwards, last season he was just brilliant at times, and I mean, like Holmesy mentioned, cross the ball so well, and we saw that in the friendly game against Everton. Just put it on a plate for Deneve. So we're losing an absolutely quality player, and it kind of does show where we are as a club. And his comments were quite telling, saying that he's coming to a club that are matching his ambitions as a player. And obviously, that just smacks us in the face as we're a club that are going nowhere in his eyes. And Middlesbrough, a club that are more ambitious than us, which we know. We know that Middlesbrough are more ambitious than us and obviously have more money to spend than us and whatnot. But yeah, it's a shame because I did really enjoy Brittain. But I mean, you're saying, Holmes, about the fact we've got the money and whatnot. In that podcast with Big Sam, Rudy did kind of say that it doesn't matter how much money we bring in a transfer window. According to what Rudy said, the Venkies just give us a pot of money, and that's the pot of money. It doesn't get increased, it doesn't get decreased. It's just the pot of money. So, like when we sold Adam Wharton, I think people were thinking, right, we're gonna have a bit of money to play with here. The next season and whatnot. We've just sold Adam Wharton for 20 million or whatever. It didn't come. And I think even if we hadn't have sold Brittain, this money still would have been there. So it's annoying. We are being asset stripped. We are selling players on, obviously buying players cheap and selling them on. But that's just where we are as a club right now. And like I said before, we just need to hope that one season it all just clicks. These players who come in from the foreign leagues just hit the ground running, and we make playoffs and we get promoted and we finally get rid of the owners. But until that day comes, we are just going to be this club that is always selling our better players to opposition teams, and it shouldn't be that way. You look at the way it is with Middlesbrough. Most seasons we finish about the same position, just either just outside the playoffs kind of thing. I know Middlesbrough snuck in there a few times, but not really much between the two clubs. But now that's Lenny and Brittain who saw Borough as a better opportunity for their careers rather than us, which is damning.
It is damning, but I think their owner is just more engaged with the club than ours, and again, it's just a bad time, Rovers at the moment. But anyway, I don't want to dig too deep into that. But Callum Brittain does leave, pastures new. Since our relegation from the Premier League, have we had a better right back, Jonty?
I think what it's made me realise is how important the right back is. I haven't thought that for a long time. So no, I would probably say certainly in the last decade he has been our the best right back that there has been. And I just if you look at some of the players that we have lost over the last 2-3 seasons, if we could have retained those, we would have a genuine serious squad there. You like the Schmodics and we Blackburn Rovers, we should be as ambitious as signing your Owen Becks. Where's he gone now? Derby, is it, on
Derby.
loan again, sort of thing? So, he's joined up with the Snake. Just some of the good players that we've lost over the season, and we shouldn't be, as Jacob's already alluded to, we shouldn't be a selling club. We're just looking for that one season where just everything clicks. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We've got a decent squad. We're capable of the playoffs. We're established as well. Some of these players now have been playing for a decent period of time together. So, yeah, we should be up there. But there's no guarantees in the championship. But long answer to your short question. No, certainly the last decade, nobody springs to mind. And I think for me, it underpins how important that right back position is.
Appreciate that, guys. Of course, if you are interested in helping us out on the channel, we are looking for new faces for the Blackburn Rovers season mafioso. Check us out down below, or hit me up in a comment, or hop on over to Twitter and smash me up with a direct message there. But before we bounce out of here, you can help me out another way by submitting your Blackburn Rovers season, not your Rovers memory, your Blackburn Rovers memory. What's your best memory, of course, of the 150th years? I know you weren't there for all of them, but what was the best in your lifetime? Eddie, tell them all about it.
Hey, with Eddie back once again, but this time I don't want your money. No, I want your name, your voice, your Rovers memories. That's right. We started a social media project over on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, showcasing 150 Blackburn Rovers memories. I've asked fans from around the globe to drop their Rovers memories, but of course I need more of them. That's right. 150 is a big number and we need some more, and that's where you come in. That's right. Whether it's the best player, best goal, best shirt, best moment in regards to Blackburn Rovers, I want to hear about it. So if you want to do that, again, follow that link. There is also one down in the description and drop it in there. Of course, that memory will be featured over on Twitter on a day of its own. And then, of course, together in a master video when we drop it on November the 5th to celebrate Blackburn Rovers' 150th anniversary. So please do me a favour and drop your Rovers memory. But anyway, once again, back to Dirk to wrap up the show.
Appreciate that, Eddie. Thanks again for giving up a bit of your time, of course. And thank you guys for watching. This is your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers right here. We'll be back with more, of course, when we get it. But until then, I'm done.